What's up, everybody? It's the RedJed. General back with you to the latest pro wrestling news and results. Locked and loaded, ready to go. It's Wrestling Rams. Hey, let's get into it. The inaugural edition of Midweek Must-See Matches right here on the Rant. Right now, a little bit delayed. These are usually on Wednesday nights that we'll be dropping this after Dynamite. As it were, I couldn't get through Dynamite last night. I fell asleep before the end of it and before the main event, which we'll talk about in a little bit here on Midweek Must-See Matches. So, we are here on Thursday checking out all of the top matches in the industry all through the month of March so far. This is a special inaugural one because we are covering everything through the month of March so far. Typically this would be just like a once in a week type of thing. Every Wednesday night we're going to be looking back at the week's best matches right here, midweek must-see matchups. So it's a little bit of a deluxe edition, if you will, of the first episode. So I'm just going to go through basically date to date from March 1st onward of what I felt were some must-see matches so far, and there's actually been a decent amount of them from different organizations, different styles. A lot of matches on this list were from the pay-per-view revolution. We'll talk about that also. So let's just get into it. Let's not waste any more time. Let's talk about the must-see matches of March so far. All right, on the 1st of March, we had on Dynamite the Face of the Revolution match, which was a wild spot fest. If you're into that kind of stuff, this match was for you. Well, let me tell you, the big thing that stood out in this match was the work of Commander, who's a luchador from AAA primarily. Will he be back? We'll see. He was not under any contract. This was, I think, originally supposed to be El Viquino, the AAA champion, but as things were, some issues to get him in, and went to Commander instead, and boy, did he impress. So hopefully we'll see him back in AEW. This match was wild. This was the match really that, quite frankly, should have been on the pay-per-view. They should have just fucking did it on the pay-per-view itself, because it felt like a pay-per-view match. It was worked like a pay-per-view match. And the Powerhouse Hobbs win was a big moment as well. That may have been better served on that pay-per-view, since Hobbs was from the Bay Area. So, still got his win at the Cow Palace, which is obviously a definitely legendary venue in San Francisco, but it felt just a little off being on that Dynamite episode where it should have been probably on the pay-per-view. That said, the pay-per-view had more than enough quality matches on there that perhaps it would have been overshadowed or underappreciated being on that Revolution card. So whatever the case, check it out. That's the 1st of March, AEW Dynamite if you haven't seen it. Face Revolution match. Let's get into March 2nd. This is actually aired on March 2nd on Axis on Impact Wrestling. Originally, I believe that the date, I was at the match in Vegas. You guys have probably seen the content drop from this match. I believe it was the 25th or something like that of February. It was the Saturday of that weekend, of that No Surrender weekend in Las Vegas. Bullet Club, Motor City Machine Guns, World Tag Title Championship match, title change. Big match on a pretty good taping of that Impact from Vegas that Saturday night. They aired it on the 2nd of March, and yeah, it was just as good, if not better, seeing it on TV than it was ringside. I was 4th row ringside, right by the stage. That was a moment for sure. Great match. Really, really enjoyed that one. You got to check that out. Motor City Machine Guns. Let me rewind that. Motor City Machine Guns against Bullet Club. Also on the 2nd of March, on the inaugural Ring of Honor show, AR Fox, Claudio Castagnoli. I'd say check that out, if not just for the historics of the first main event on the new Ring of Honor, but there was a pretty good promo by Kingston afterwards as well. He came out to a big pop, challenge Claudio. It's going out Super Card of Honor. All in all, just definitely the highlight match of that Ring of Honor first inaugural episode. Also to note, maybe another side item, Zack Sabre Jr., Blake Christian from that show was also not bad. Just barely missed the list here. Maybe not must-see, but worth a look, no doubt. Now we're going to get into a couple matches from the New Japan Cup. I've tried to be keeping up with that. On that note, we're going to have a mega rant on the New Japan Cup all the way, everything covered from the semifinals downward. That will drop on Monday, on Mega Rant Monday. Mega rant of the New Japan Cup matches. The tournament so far, as by that point, I believe it will only be the finals that will be going down on the 21st, so I'll be able to cover everything preceding that as part of Mega Rant Monday, so check that out. On that note, Taichi Sonata from the 5th of March. This was right the morning before that Dynamite, or excuse me, not Dynamite, but a Revolution pay-per-view. This was overnight. Taichi Sonata New Japan Cup. That was one of the first real standout matches so far in the tournament. There was an upset. Hanare upset Shingo Takagi. The match itself wasn't super great, so I didn't put it on that list, but that may be another mention. I think that was around maybe in this same show or the show after it, something around there, but we'll talk about more about that one on Mega Rant Monday, this coming Monday with the New Japan Cup Mega Rant. Oh, okay, let's talk about Revolution. Obviously, on the 5th, also the same day as that New Japan match you just talked about, we had the pay-per-view Revolution. We had House of Black against the Elite. That six-man trios championship was a classic. I would put that on must-see. I'd also put must-see John Moxley, Adam Page, Texas Death Match. Everything's been said about that one that needs to be said. And obviously the Iron Man match with MJF and Bryan Danielson. I know a lot of conjecture. Is that the best Iron Man match in America ever? I waver back and forth about it. I think it might have been, possibly. I'm not a huge super fan of that Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels match from WrestleMania 12, so I think it was better than that. I'll just say that much. How about on the 6th of March, we go back to Japan, and now we're at the New Japan's 51st anniversary show. Every year on March 6th, they do that show, and they had a couple more New Japan Cup matches. In fact, the best match so far in the tournament was on this show, and that was David Finlay, now as a heel, running Bullet Club, taking the place of Jay White with his working shoes on against Tomohiro Ishii. Damn, this match was must-see. I think this is the most must-see New Japan Cup match for sure so far. This was so good. Way overachieved. Man, you gotta check this out. This was the hidden gem so far, March. No doubt. Also on that same card, we got Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, Bushman defending those tag titles against Kazuchika Okada and Tanahashi, and another tremendous match. This was the main event of that show, and Bushman actually went over Tanahashi doing the job for Yoshihashi. Incredible. This match had great near falls near the end. Crowd was electric into this, and they were pretty well into that Ishii and David Finlay match too. These two matches really stood out. Literally just the day after the Revolution pay-per-view. This was the New Japan anniversary show, 51st, as a matter of fact, on that one. So check that show out for those two matches. That shit was great. Let's get into a little NXT. Usually they're not going to be making the list all the time, and they sure did with the match with Roxanne Perez and Meiko Satomura from Roadblock. I thought that really stood out as a really tremendous ladies match. I'm interested to see where they're going with Perez. I kind of think she's going to get the call to the main roster after Mania, maybe on that Monday Night Raw, perhaps the day after Mania. I can see that certainly happening, along with Braun Breaker, who probably will job the title out to Carmelo Hayes at the NXT pay-per-view. So we'll see where they go with that. Now let's move on to, that was March 7th, by the way, the Roadblock event. March 9th, this was last Thursday, we had Kushida and Jonathan Gresham on Impact. This was also from Vegas, from that Saturday taping. Just an excellent technical match. Lots of submissions, lots of grappling stuff going on, and some other decent ring work. Besides that, this was worth going out of your way and checking out. Also going out of your way and checking out from Ring of Honor's second episode, the main event, Willow Nightingale and Athena. Damn, these two women went for it, folks. This was better comparatively probably to the Perez and Satomura match, which I'm also recommending from this same week. This match fucking brought it. You need to check this match out. Best match I've seen Willow Nightingale definitely have in AEW / Ring of Honor, and best match I've seen Athena have in a long time, let me tell you. Now we're moving on to the 10th of March. Like I told you, there's a lot of good matches so far this month. This one was from SmackDown. It was the 5-way to determine who faces Gunther, which is still undecided. It's going to happen on Friday with McIntyre against Sheamus. But this match was McIntyre, Sheamus, Woods, Cross, and LA Knight. Damn, they gave it time to. It opened SmackDown up, and it really delivered. I thought this was pretty much the standout WWE match so far this month of anything on TV, but kind of a weird time to be making that statement because this is WrestleMania season where it's mostly angle-driven, promo-driven stuff leading up to Mania. You're not going to get these classic must-see matches right in this moment. After Mania, we may be talking a little bit with the television differently, but for now, it is what it is, and it's full road to WrestleMania mode for sure. So we're to the 10th of March. Now we're at the 15th. This, actually, a couple things happened in a couple different promotions on the 15th. The overnight of the 15th was another New Japan Cup show, and this one was Zack Sabre Jr. against Shota Umino. This was excellent. They went over 20 minutes. You should really check this match out. This was literally just about a little over 24 hours ago, and damn, I just watched this earlier. This match was excellent. Go out of your way. I don't think it was as good as the Ishii-David Finlay match, but there was a whole lot of good to talk about with this one. And then we're going to close out for the best must-see matches so far in March. From Dynamite last night, that trios 3-way match with Jericho's team against the Elite, against House of Black. Man, this crowd was electric in Winnipeg. The Jericho-Omega interactions, as well as the Jericho-Omega teaming up kind of spots as well, was fantastic. I thought the finish was well laid out. The near fall sequences at the end was something. The post-match was awesome with the Adam Page stuff with the Elite, which appears to be leading to a BCC against Elite and Page program down the road. I wonder if we might get that for Anarchy at the Arena at Double or Nothing. I just wonder if maybe that's in the books. So that's really breaking down. I'm not going to really rate those matches on a list scale or anything. They're all must-see. They really should be checked out. Definitely make a point. I guess if anything, check out that. I gotta praise that Bullet Club Machine Guns match for sure. The Ishii-David Finlay match was fantastic. All three of those matches from Revolution really stood out. Yeah, I mean, everything here really was worth a look. Now, to close out this rant, we're going to talk about, which is going to be a weekly part of this as well, the kerplunk of the week. I might have a couple of these matches listed on here. These were matches that really underperformed and really left with a bad taste in my mouth, so to speak, after watching them. I have a few on this list. The Hobbs Wardlow main event on Dynamite after Revolution. That was just a not well put together fiasco of bullshit with QT Marshall and all. Poor Wardlow, poor Hobbs. I mean, that's a lose-lose in that one. How about the Joe Gacy, Andre Chase match? I think this was on Roadblock. This is a complete fucking waste of time. I'd also talk about the Casino Battle Royal. I couldn't get into that. The rules were so weird. They weren't like the regular Casino Battle Royal rules. There was no mystery team, no Joker team. The teams didn't come out in intervals like they usually would. Shouldn't even call this a Casino Battle Royal. It didn't make a lick of sense why they did it all. So those were kind of my kerplunks for the most part. I also put Gigi Dolan and JC Jane in a slight kerplunk. I think that match was definitely a letdown for at least the first one. I think they're going to bring it back and continue that program and hopefully get something better out of it. So, those were my picks for both must-see and kerplunks so far this March. So, come on back next Wednesday. We'll have just a week's worth of these must-see matches we'll talk about next Wednesday night, right after Dynamite. We're going to kind of take a look at things from that kind of time point on. It'll be from basically today, Thursday, all the way into Wednesday night after the shows on Wednesday. Get up and talk about the must-see matches every single week, Wednesday nights, right here, Wrestling Rants. Coming up next, we're not done today. We got Ranch Respective kicking off WrestleMania Road to WrestleMania. Nothing but Ranch Respectives, all about all the WrestleManias in Southern California. We're going to be dropping these 5 different unique rants leading to WrestleMania, and the first one is going to drop tonight, very shortly here, on WrestleMania 2, only the WrestleMania portion from Los Angeles. If you recall, that was a show that was from both New York, Chicago, as well as LA. We're just going to talk strictly about LA and the WrestleMania 2 portion of that. There's a lot of interesting stuff I dug out for information about WrestleMania 2 that you might not know. So check it out, Ranch Respective, special edition WrestleMania 2 coming up next. Right here! Hello, Wrestling Rants, baby! So come on back, WrestleMania 2's on the agenda, coming up next, baby!